Hello guys, this is Dr. Sabha from Dr. Sabha Dental Clinic. Today we're going to talk about the different parts of the tooth, but before we go to the topic, I would really request you to all please like, share and subscribe my channel so that I keep sharing you all such updates. Okay, so let's just start the video. Today we're going to talk about the parts of the tooth which we say in our language, that is dental anatomy. So the tooth has the tooth is divided. Let's divide the tooth into two parts. The topmost layer, that is the one which is visible in our mouth, okay, that is the crown part, and the one which is beneath the gums inside the bone, that is the root part. Okay, so this is the part which we can see, and this is the part which is inside the gums and the bones. Okay, so the first part is the crown. The crown is divided into three parts, that is the enamel, the second layer is the dentine, and the third layer is the pulp. Okay, enamel, it is very difficult for any cavity to form and spread in the enamel because it is very strong. Okay, the strongest layer is the enamel. Whenever the cavity is in the enamel, it is very easy to restore it. Then we go to the dentine, the second layer. That's dentine is little sensitive. Okay, enamel is the least sensitive area. It protects our tooth, so it protects our tooth from all the sensations, all the hot, cold, sweet thing. We are all protected because of the enamel. The second layer is dentine. When dentine is exposed in your tooth, you will feel the sensitivity. There will be slight sensitivity, sometimes even more to the patient if there is more involvement of the dentine or more exposure of the dentine. It depends on the amount of exposure of the second layer. मतलब कितना enamel, कितना dentine आपके oral cavity के contact में आ रहा है direct. Okay, so the second layer is dentine. Dentine is the layer which keeps a little bit of sensations. Okay, unlike enamel, it has a little bit of sensations. This layer, it is very easy for a bacteria that is during the cavity formation. This is the layer which is very easy as it is softer than the enamel. So the caries, whenever it is involved in the dentine, it actually covers most of the part of the dentine because it is very easy for the bacteria to spread in the dentine layer. Okay, the next we come to the pulp. The third most layer is the pulp, which is the core of a tooth, as it has all the sensations, the innervations, the blood supply, the nerve supply, everything is there intact in the pulp, that is the core of the tooth. So whenever your pulp is exposed, like whenever you have pain in your tooth, it is basically the cavity or the trauma, whatever the reason is touching your pore, causing the infection or swelling inside your teeth. Because as we have all the supply here, so whenever you have any kind of cavity or trauma or anything touching near the pulp part, this is the pulp which we say pulp, that is the red part, so there will be inflammation, there will be swelling in that part of the teeth leading to pain. We generally say there will be a throbbing pain. There are very different types of, you can have a gnawing pain, you can have a stabbing pain. It depends on what kind of infection it is. Okay, so let's not go into the variety of pain. That is a topic which we can cover some other day. Okay, so the crown part we had covered. Again, let's revise. The first topmost layer, the protective and the most strongest layer, it is the enamel. Okay, the second part is the dentine. Dentine is softer than the enamel, a lot softer than the enamel, and it carries light sensation. Okay, so whenever the cavity is involved in your dentine layer, it must have covered a lot of part of the dentine because it is very easy for the bacteria to spread in the dentine layer. The third and the last layer of the crown is the pulp. This is the core of your tooth. It has all the blood supply and the nerve supply, and whenever you have any infection, there will be a pain. The pain is involved because you have the swelling here. Okay, so this is the crown layer. Now let's come to the second layer, that is the root. Okay, the crown we have covered. Now the part of the tooth which is not visible, which is covered by your gums or your bone, it is roots. So root has the topmost layer, cementum. As you see this red this layer, this is basically a cementum. So it doesn't have enamel in the root part. Okay, it has the cementum. It starts from the cementum. So this is the differentiation from the crown and the root area. In the root, we start from cementum. The topmost layer, the protective layer, is cementum. Cementum is not very strong like enamel. It is so strong, but it carries sensitivity. So whenever a patient have pyrrhea, that is, we say periodontitis, basically in that part, what happens, your crown, your root area is getting exposed. That is, your crown is becoming longer and your gums are basically receding. They are coming down. So why they are receding? Because there are a lot of infection going, causing the root part to be exposed. So whenever the root is getting exposed, what will happen? The cementum. The topmost layer of the root is cementum. The cementum will get exposed, and the cementum is very sensitive. Okay, so whenever the patient will eat anything sweet, anything cold, or anything hot, they will have sensation, sensitivity, which we call it, is because this layer is exposed because of pyrrhea, periodontitis in our language. Okay, and the second layer after cementum in the root is dentine. Okay, as I told you, dentine is softer than the topper layers, and whenever cavity is there in the dentine layer, it is very easy for it to spread. Okay, as it is very soft. Okay, so the next we come to the last layer of the root, that is the pulp. Same as I said, it carries the blood supply. It is the continuation of the crown part of the pulp to the root. So it carries the blood supply and the nerve supply, carries the sensation. It is because of your core that when we have something, when we bite, we feel the sensation that there is something in between the teeth. We stop. Why we stop? Because we feel there is something, and that feeling, that sensations comes because of the pulp. Because here we have all the nerve supply and the blood supply, which keeps your sensation awake. Okay, so basically when you go for RCT, root canal treatment, we remove all your core part because the infection reside here. So when we remove this part, you lose your sensations. So it is a very stony kind of feeling after we do an RCT. It is because of this, as we remove the core of your tooth, which is pulp, which carries all the supply, and the supplies are removed. This is so the sensations are gone. Okay, so I hope this topic was very much informative to you, and this might help you to have a lot more dental awareness, so that you can understand where to protect and where to go to the dentist, what kind of sensation you are having. Is it a pain or is it a sensitivity? As I told you, whenever there is a sensitivity, it is mostly in the dentine layer. Something is there in your dentine layer or in the cementum layer because of the pyrrhea or periodontitis. Okay, and whenever there is a pain, it is mostly your core layer. So I hope this knowledge will give you a lot of information when to come to the dentist. I hope before you have a pain. Okay, that's what my intentions are, that you come to the clinic before pain, so that we can save your teeth as soon as possible without undergoing any end stage treatment. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed today's video. And if anything you want to share, anything you want me to talk about, or anything you want me to correct, please share, please comment down, and I'll definitely reply to you. Thank you so much. Bye. Take care.